All right, friends, today we're going to be inspired by Marc, and we're going to paint cats. Before we start painting our cats, though, we're going to draw it. I'll give you your sketchbook, and you can practice a couple different cats in your sketchbook so you can see what you like the look of. Once you have the cat you like, you need to decide if your paper is going to be horizontal or vertical. If you're making a cat lying down, probably horizontal is a better way for you to aim your paper. If you are making a cat that's sitting like this one, or even standing up playing, you will want to aim your paper vertically. I think I'm going to make my cat lying down, so my paper is horizontal. I'm going to start with the line between my cat's ears. Then I'm going to make part of a triangle. It's missing that bottom. And another part of a triangle for my cat's ears. I'm going to make a line that goes down from the ear to the center. That's kind of like the cat's chin. And another line that goes down and meets in the middle. Now my cat has a head. My cat is sleeping, so I'm going to draw his eyes closed. I'm going to draw the outline of his ears. And I'm going to give him a nose. It's an upside down triangle. And connect it to his mouth. Now I'm going to draw my cat's back and tail. So to do that, I'm making an arc from the body. Now I'm going to curl it around to make his tail. So that curl goes almost up to my cat's face and back. Now I'm going to make my cat's front paw. It's an oval, and then these little lines for his claws. Now I'm going to connect that back to the body. Now I'm going to make my cat's other paw coming out here. Now I have the basic shape of a cat. If I want to, I can make some lines on my cat. Maybe it's a tabby cat. Maybe my cat has little areas where it has a different color to it. That's really up to you. Then I'm going to make where my cat is. Maybe my cat is sleeping on a comfy rug, so I'm going to draw the rug here. Maybe it has little bits of fringe on it. Maybe there's a little ball of yarn here that my cat was just playing with, so I'm kind of telling a story. Maybe my cat is so tired because he's been playing so hard with that yarn. I think I want my cat to have a few whiskers too. Next up is going to be paint. And the fun thing about this lesson is you can make your cat realistic if you want, or you could make a purple, blue, and pink cat. The choice is really yours. So I have my paints ready. I have a paint set, and if you've been with me for a few years, you're familiar with this. I have water and a sponge. When I'm getting ready to paint, I take my brush out and I choose my color. I think I would like to make mine a blue cat. So I'm dipping in that blue paint, and I'm going to paint his stripes blue. When I'm painting, I need to remember that my paintbrush is like a ballerina. Ballerinas dance on their tiptoes. For this paintbrush, these are the tiptoes of the paintbrush, the end of that hair. They never ever scoot on their bottoms. The bottom is the metal part, because nobody wants to go to the booty scooting ballet. So make sure that you have a ballerina, not a booty scooter, on your paper. Now I'm ready to switch colors. If I just put this back into the paint set, I will wind up mixing the colors. So what I do is I swish in the water. I don't need to splash, it's just a little swish. And then I am going to paint some X's onto the sponge. That gets my brush nice and clean and ready for the next color. Now I think I'm going to do purple. I'm going to paint the rest of my cat's body purple. I'm painting around the areas on my cat that I've already painted. And I'm filling. My paintbrush is like a what? A ballerina. It's dancing on its tiptoes across my paper. Now I am going to make my video moving fast forward so you can see how I paint quickly, and then I'll show you what we will do with these next. All right, my friends, my artwork is almost dry. By the time you get back to yours though, it will be totally dry because it'll have had a full week to let that paint dry. The first thing I'm going to do is get my black pastel out. When I was painting, I went over some of my lines and they're not quite as clear now. I want to make sure I'm going directly over top of them. So I'm going to bring this up close to you for a minute. You can see that I didn't just go close to where I had pastel before. I went right on top. So I want to trace exactly where I did before to get that line nice and clear. The whiskers, I'm doing the same thing. And the mouth, and any other line that really lost some detail. So you can see the mouth and the face of my animal is a lot more clear now. Now I'm going to use a technique called overpainting to add more details to my art. Overpainting is when you let paint dry and then you paint on top of it or over it. So to do this, I'm going to start with the purple area of my cat and I'm just going to make some dots. The blue is covering the purple for the most part and adding an extra layer of color. Now maybe I will do some stripes on the pink part of my cat's tail. So I'm adding some really fun patterns. Maybe I'll add an extra layer of blue, and this technique is called scrape away. I put a whole layer on top, and then I scraped away the top layer of color. You can see right there how I did that dark blue on top. So I'll do it again to show you. I did the dark blue on top, then I flipped my brush upside down, and I drew into the wet paint. And again, you can see that it left a cool design underneath. I'm gonna do that again on this area. I really like this technique. I think it's very interesting to look at. I think I'm gonna make some dark blue polka dots on this blue area of my cat. And I think I'm just gonna make some kind of organic shapes on his face. Organic shapes are just natural shapes, shapes we don't really have a name for. So I'm just using this light purple color to kind of make it little natural looking spots on my cat. It's a little hard to see for you, so I'll do it darker. There, you can see a little better. Now I'm going to use some of these same techniques in the background. Maybe I will make stripes on top of my orange to make it look like wallpaper. If I make lines going the other way, this is something called cross hatching. It's a technique that artists use to create texture. I'm going to fast forward this video and add more designs and patterns so you can see how it will come together in the end. So you can see that now my cat is really detailed. I have different patterns all over my cat. I made cross hatching in my background. I used streaky lines to give my floor texture, and I did some wavy lines on that rug and added some fringe. So it's very detailed, and there is a lot of overpainting happening where I let the paint dry and then paint on top. I think Franz Marc would be very impressed with our cats.